Another Brick fan here with my review of the LEGO Star Wars 20th Anniversary Edition Anikin's Podracer. Let's take a closer look. This is LEGO set 75258 and was released in April 2019. Has 279 pieces, 3 minifigures including the collector's edition Luke Skywalker based on the original 1999 version. This set is based on the 1999 Anikin's Podracer set number 7131, which had less than half the pieces of this new version. I'll review the minifigures later, but let's start with the main build, which is supported by several clear Technic pieces. The overall effect is quite good, and I also like the use of the newer Lightning pieces here on the front. We'll look at those in more detail in a minute, that represent the coupler between the engines. Let's go ahead and zoom in on the body of the Podracer. As you can see, it's decorated with a liberal use of stickers. There's stickers on each of these here, and then actually 3 stickers on this back tail section. You see there's one on the top there, and then one on either side. There's also a sticker on the front here, front of the Podracer. Overall, I think the pod itself looks really good. It does fit a minifigure quite well. Now, of course, Anakin's got the short legs so they don't bend, so he just kind of leans back in there, which looks okay. The pod is connected to the engines in the front using these gray flexible pieces here, flexible rods, which make for a really good effect. It's better effect, in my opinion, than the black tubing they used on the original version. Moving up to the engines, let's get a good front view here. Like I said, I like the use of these Lightning pieces here, kind of as the coupler. They're in this nice light purple color, which I think is unique to this particular set. The fins actually articulate a little bit so they can open up depending on how the Podracer is moving. Lots of detail on these engines. If you zoom in here, you can see that there's a sword piece right here used to give it a little bit of detailing. These little pieces here are the 1x2 brick with a rod, and goes into a clip piece here, so it allows for a little articulation there. There's a gear here to add a little bit more detail. I like how they use the silver and gold stud, silver cone and the gold stud here to add some detailing around the engine. And then the back obviously has a nice little thruster look. So overall, really nice representation of the engines themselves. There is a little extra detail on these fins. You see there's a small sticker there on the fin. The other nice thing about the stand they have included here is it does hold the whole model up. It makes it look really nice. But the other thing it allows for is some swooshability. So you can actually pick the whole model up and fly it around. So some nice play feature there. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the minifigures. Like all the collectible minifigures in this 20th anniversary series, Luke Skywalker comes with a custom printed tile piece with the 4 studs on the back, which has the 20th anniversary logo and the name of the character. The stand is built using, an arch piece and some additional tiles, and these are designed to be connected together so you can put the whole set of 5 collectible minifigures together as one stand. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at Luke. As a throwback to 1999, Luke comes with a standard yellow head, since the flesh-colored heads for licensed products didn't start until 2003. He does have the signature blue lightsaber with the chrome hilt. So it has the shinier hilt, which may not be quite obvious here on the video. He's in his standard X-Wing pilot uniform, which again is done with some nice printing there with black, white, and some grays. You give off a really good impression of the kind of vest that goes over the orange uniform. The helmet has his traditional red coloring, since he was assigned to the Red Squadron. As we move around the figure, you see that he also has the 20-year Star Wars logo that all of the collectible minifigures in this series have. There is no alternate face on this particular minifigure. So again, it's a really good throwback to the original. I think it's very true to the original figure that was released in 1999, and a nice collectible minifigure as well. Anikin comes in a light tan with his short legs, which are appropriate for the character. The helmet looks good, but to me the goggles are a little bit big and actually kind of difficult to position exactly right. So up on the forehead like this, I think it looks pretty good, but when you move it down over the eyes, you can see that the eyes are close enough together that you can just barely see them through the goggles. And you kind of have to tweak it a little bit and get that helmet exactly right to make sure that the eyes are then centered underneath the goggles. I do like the printing here of the kind of the robes, and got a nice belt and then a shirt underneath there. As we move around the figure, you see that the printing along the back is continued with, you know, some extra pouches on the back of his belt there, which I think looks really good. Anikin does come, along with the nice prints on the back, Anikin does come with an alternate face, which is a little happier than the kind of more concentrating face that he has on the front. No printing on the sides at all. And then he comes with a little wrench accessory, although I guess little is not a good term. That's a really big wrench, but obviously this represents him being able to work on the Podracer, getting it all ready for the race. The last figure that comes with this series is Padme Amidala. This figure looks really good. I like the printing on the torso with the use of the belt there, and then there's actually, it's hard to tell maybe with the video, but it is kind of a silver or shiny part around the belt buckle, which looks really good. She is using the new bendable short legs, so these are the ones that are just one stud higher than the short legs that were used on Anikin. I first saw these used last year in 2018 on the Harry Potter Wizarding World sets. And this is a really good choice based on kind of her age in the episode 1. She does come with a blaster. Then she has this really nice hairpiece, which has the braids along the top, and then the coil in the back and the very long strands of hair here. Nice hairpiece. The thing about it is it does completely cover up all the printing on the back. So if you take it off, you see that she does have an alternate face. Looks a little more grouchy or angry with this face, and then the good printing on the back of the figure. Now that we've seen all the minifigures, let's move back and take a look at the entire set again. This is one of my favorite sets in this 20th anniversary series. Although there are a lot of stickers on the pod, they're used quite effectively. It looks good and it's nicely sized and proportioned as the pod from the Podracer. The engines are much bigger than the pod itself, which would lend to the speed and I think is pretty accurate to the movie. As I pointed out, the detail on the engines is actually quite good. There's great articulation points where you have the fins on the side in the yellow, and then the fins up front can be moved and spread out as well, being on those tension hinges. The clear stand holds everything together quite well. It's not super noticeable. I mean, you can obviously see it, but it does give the illusion that the whole thing is floating. And it also provides a nice handle so you can swoosh the Podracer around and do your simulated races with it. I hope that you've enjoyed my thoughts on this set. I'm going to work on getting the next one reviewed. Happy building! If you enjoyed this video, hit the subscribe button to see more content, and click the bell button to be alerted when new content is posted.